Churches are having an awful PR week because why did this one almost call the cops on a homeless woman that was sleeping in their parking lot within her car, even though she wasn't bothering anyone?
I don't know where else to go. So what do you think you're going to accomplish by this, man? Because it's not going to make you look good.
Nope.
I suggest both you open the Bible and see. Look what it says about homeless people and poor people and what you're supposed to do. Because it's not this.
Nope.
It's not this, and you know it.
Yeah.
You don't have to call the police. But you would. You would, because that's what kind of people you are in this church.
Exactly. This is the homeless lady's page if y'all want to go support her. Judging by the Venmo, it looks like her first name is Mandy, so I'm going to call her Mandy from here on out. Mandy has been homeless for 3 years. She did have a place at one point, but then she got sick and became unhoused after.
What do you mean internet detectives have already uncovered the most disgusting stuff about that church in Michigan? Not only is her husband a registered for children, she knew he was a registered.
No, I actually think that the Most High is using times like this to actually save the people that have a right heart for him and those that completely don't have it at all. And is literally blasting them on the media, even if a lot of them are coming out to defend their idiocracy. We have a video that is going quite viral of a homeless woman that went to church parking lot. She wanted to sleep there in her car because, you know, she's been homeless for about 18 months. I don't want to narrate all the story because I want us to look at it. But the pastors of this church literally threatened to tow her car and threatened to call the police on her, even after her trying to literally cry out, begging them. She wasn't even begging to go inside their premises, just the parking lot. Meanwhile, this church, the husband is a Smegz offender. You can make these things up. I want us to look at this interaction and encounter, what some other people think, and those that have had experience actually trying to hold these people accountable. We will definitely be back to talk about it. Let me know what you think in the comment section, like, share. I'll be back with more.
Park my car and sleep. I'm not bothering anybody by being here. I don't cause any trouble. All I do is park my car here and sleep. That's it. I don't know where else to go. So what do you think you're going to accomplish by this, man? Because it's not going to make you look good. I suggest both you open the Bible and see. Look what it says about homeless people and poor people and what you're supposed to do. Because it's not this. It's not this, and you know it. But I expect nothing from the church. I hope you're not turning that off. Record it all. Put it on Facebook. It's not going to make you look the way you think it is. It's not. You don't have to call the police. But you would. You would, because that's what kind of people you are in this church. I'm going to put this on the internet, and a lot of people are going to see it, and you're going to be really embarrassed.
Well, like the sign says, that was Second Reformed Church in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And that lady who was speaking was a homeless woman. She explains to them that she has been homeless for 18 months. She sleeps in her car. She was just parking on the church lot in order to, you know, have somewhere safe to park and sleep in her car. And they were calling the police on her and like trying to have her car towed. The first lady that you see who's recording her with the phone with the short gray haircut, she's a pastor. She's a pastor at that church. But that's not the most extraordinary part. Janice, who's behind the desk, who threatens to call the police on the homeless woman, Janice is married to a Smegz offender. Several times convicted Smegz offender. Janice ain't calling the cops on him, but she wants to call the cops on a homeless lady for sleeping on the church lot in her car. I'm not going to lie. I am enjoying these churches being exposed because what does it cost you to just leave this lady alone to just sleep in her car on the lot? What does it cost you?
In this day and age, it's very easy for you to be found, especially if you left trails on the internet. And this church, yes, they left trails on the internet. I want us to look and listen to some of their sermons and see if they follow the things that they preach to the people.
Let's pray. Make us your messengers of peace and justice. May all injustice, violence, and oppression give way to fairness, mercy, and goodwill. May all people find their reward in work that serves the good of all. Fill us with a passion for righteousness and a zeal to serve where there is need. Hear the cries of those who long for your peace. Renew your church, O Lord, that we may be sanctuaries of your grace and presence in the world. Bless our neighborhoods with peace, and make your church a blessing to all who dwell nearby.
And make your church a blessing to all who dwell nearby.
What do you mean internet detectives have already uncovered the most disgusting stuff about that church in Michigan? We're talking about the Second Reformed Church in Kalamazoo, where a homeless woman goes in to speak to this woman, Janice. This elderly woman is also in the office of this church. Just to talk to them because she parked in this parking lot and had a sticker saying that she would be towed. And she's homeless, also disabled. So she's like, okay, they're open. I'm just gonna go talk to them and explain to them why I was trying to sleep here last night. She's very polite. She explains, I'm disabled. I get $900 a month. I have been homeless for 18 months and I'm just trying to find a safe place to sleep overnight in my vehicle. Neither of these women could care less. What makes it worse is that this woman continues to say, I'm not only going to get your vehicle towed, I'm going to call the cops. This woman starts recording her, so they are now literally recording each other to find out that's one of the pastors for this church. Same pastor that literally preaches about compassion, goodwill, and holds prayers with her congregation about how she wants the church to be a sanctuary for those in need. None of that is as shocking as what they found about this woman. Buckle up, people, because Janice is married to this man named Robert. Guess what Janice's husband is? A registered offender. But wait, it gets worse. Not only is her husband a registered offender for children, she knew he was a registered offender because his first charges started back in 2001. Exactly what charges did he get to become a registered offender? These are the charges he got in Michigan. This is public record. So what exactly does this mean, second degree? It means that the child that had to be under the age of 16 for this to qualify as a second degree was either someone he is biologically related to, a child that was living under his roof when this happened, or he was in a position of authority. It means he was either a teacher, a substitute teacher working at the school, or was in a leadership role at a church where the victim attended. I could not make this up if I tried. We're not done yet, because allegedly Janice and her husband Robert also own a local boutique where teens under the age of 16 like to shop. Mind, we're talking about multiple charges linked to this man. All of them have relationship, which either means this is a kid that was living in the house with him, this was someone who is biologically related to him, or he's related to by marriage, or he was in an authoritative position over this child and she's married to him and is still married to him. Also worth noting that the church shut down all information about their pastors and staff a year ago. All of this information has been uncovered in the last 48 hours. If you haven't seen this original video, don't worry, I got you. After I post this video, I will follow it with a shortened version of that video and tag the woman that all of this happened to.
So yesterday I made a video about this lady.
Christ and the love of God.
A pastor threatening a homeless woman with MS to call the cops on her for sleeping in her car in the church parking lot. I had commented on their Facebook page before I even made that video. It was a post that they had made about donating these jackets for the homeless, and I commented on there, donation for who? You're clearly not helping out the homeless, so where are they going? I'd also mentioned that if they deleted the comments that they were starting to get, we would clearly know that they feel no remorse. So what do? Instead of taking accountability, they should just be like, I messed up, I'm so sorry, this is what we're gonna do to change. You know what they do instead? They turn off all calls, block all emails. They deleted their Facebook just to not take any accountability.
Who
is responsible for the PR for the church, honey. I know you having a terrible week. They running you ragged, ain't it? Listen, first they not giving baby formula to a baby. Now they calling the police on homeless people. Listen, if you can't go to Belly No Chase, then where the hell can you go? Let's be serious, not funny, okay? A homeless lady was in the parking lot of a church, all right? Her and the pastor had words, right? The pastor was like, listen, you cannot park your car and be homeless in my church parking lot, okay? And the lady was like, well, I'm homeless, I'm disabled, I need help. You would think that a church would show empathy and compassion to a homeless person begging for help, okay? But listen, they not even trying to feed a baby, okay? What you think they would do to a homeless person? Like I said, I don't know what's going on with these churches. Now, I'm not trying to make light of a serious situation because it's not funny, but it's like two things you can't do at the church. You can't have a hungry baby and you can't be homeless.
And to the pastor of the Second Reformed Church down there in Kalamazoo, Michigan, white lady, you ought to be shaming your mother. And you stood there and recorded that lady telling you she was homeless and all she wanted to do was sleep in the church parking lot. That's diabolical. That's diabolical. Oh, my gracious and Lord. Do you know how cold it get up here in Michigan? And for somebody to even just have the wherewithal to want to sleep in their car will speak volumes. I swear you can't cut it off. But that's the church for you, boy. I tell you what, I told you the church ain't shit, baby. And that's the pastor, the white lady that's holding the phone as this woman is pouring her heart out. She, what? And then there's a fat white lady sitting over there. She look like she about homeless too, so. But she give all her money to the church and she worked for them. So, of course, they're going to give her a few scraps to keep coming back and give her last and 10%. Better y'all than me, because I swear to God, I walk past the church.
Matthew 25:35 states, when you clothe the naked and you feed the impoverished and you visit the sick and disabled, you are doing it for him. May the church say amen. Can I get an amen? Because the Second Reformed Church of Kalamazoo, Michigan, done fucked around and found out today the way they treated that homeless woman who went in there for services. The older woman, somebody come get their Mimo. She's wilding out. Stood there and recorded her, didn't say a word, just stone faced. The lady at the desk is like, you need to leave her, I'm gonna call the cops. In the Second Reformed Church of God in Kalamazoo, that's how you treat people that walk in off the street and need services and need help. You guys pay no taxes. And that's because you are considered to be a charitable organization, right? You are supposed to take up the slack that the government cannot because you are charitable in your community, right? But where's the charity? Where it at though? It sounds like we need to start taxing y'all. Who else agrees? Anyway, I went and I looked at the reviews. Damn. All 1 star, shameful Bible quotes. In me, do not recommend. Don't like how they treat the homeless in this town. Yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
You know how scriptures say that God works out all situations for our good? I feel like this situation turned out for the good of the homeless lady because looks like she has a GoFundMe and she set it up and people have started helping. I have a video talking about that. And I feel like people like that in times like this, they shine. Rightly so, because they don't even ask for so much. But let's look at that video as well of another lady talking about the help that she needs and what she's reached or what she's gotten so far. And we'll get back to, the commentary.
Help me help the woman that's at the center of this Kalamazoo, Michigan church debacle. This is Mandy. She's been homeless due to a disability. She has 2 dogs and she was sleeping in the parking lot of this church in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Post has gone viral. It has over 1 million likes. And she went inside to beg them, I don't have anywhere else to stay. Please don't tow my car. They threatened to call the police on her. So internet detectives figured out that the woman at the front desk was named Janice. That Janice's husband was a registered offender. And then the internet went wild. I mean, if you search this, there's thousands of videos. I can't understand why Mandy's GoFundMe is only at 5,000. There was 1 million people who liked it. I think there was like 2-3 million that saw it. If anybody donated 50 cents. I just feel like Mandy and her dogs are getting lost in all of this, and it's the little platform I have to try to spread the word. I also added her GoFundMe to the link in my link for her GoFundMe will be in my link tree, and then also in the caption her information.
Church is supposed to be that place where if you have lost it all, come the way you are. At least for me, that is what it was modeled to be, because I saw it. People that we didn't know about that came from nowhere and came to church, and the doors were always open. The doors were always open. They came, stayed for as long as they wanted to stay. And mind you, from my experience, the pastors would feed these people. All they needed to know is, who are you? Where are you coming from? Do you have anything that says anything about you, your documentation and everything? As soon as they would find out you don't have any problem, you would be okay. But from the look of things, like I began this very episode, I said, the Most High, looks like the Most High is really doing his best right now to see who are the true people of God and those that are not. I am looking at this as these people are literally becoming the very weapon that is forged against themselves. You know how scriptures say that no weapon that is forged against you shall prosper. Where what if the very weapon that is forged against you is you yourself? Because I know a lot of people would want to come out and twist this and be like, oh, there's a such perilous times we are living in. The church is under persecution. Yes, it is. But at some point, the church is some, okay, not all, okay, because again, from my point of view where I stand, me personally, I've seen better. Okay, I've seen better. Now, and I've also seen the worst too. So at least I stand at better judgments because I've seen the best and I've also seen the worst, right? But at this point, it looks like some of these people, some of the pastors are the very weapons that are forged against themselves. And I hope they don't come out to start twisting words like, oh, the enemy is trying to invade. No. Mercy, grace, empathy, sympathy is expected out of you, especially if someone explains to you and tell you, ask them their documentations and the things that talk about them. Because this person is just going to be sleeping in their car, in your parking lot. What makes you different from everybody else? The gospel that you're supposed to be preaching. Anyway, it makes a lot of sense, like you have seen. On top of it, the holier than thou. They think the lady is a criminal and therefore probably not a criminal, but she doesn't deserve to be there. They are housing a Smegz offender. I think what is happening right now, the wave to sweep out the bad ones, is just, out there. And looks like this church might lose its premises. Looks like this church, because it's not their place. They rent it. Hopefully. Because I feel like they have not even come out to apologize or give any accountability. We understand. But where's the mercy? You as a child of God, where is it at? When we have seen people that are calling this lady that was holding a social experiment, right, a witch, simply because she did this experiment and you said no. You were put to test and you failed. But instead of humbling yourself, because even scriptures say, humble yourself under the arm of God, and He will exalt you. He will lift you up. But a lot of them are not that much humble enough. How crazy is it that the world is judging you? You know, you are under judgment. I would rather you be under judgment. I would rather you be torn by the Lord. Which in this case, I really feel like it's the Lord that is tearing them apart. But now it's not just the Lord. Even the world is tearing them apart. I would rather you be torn apart by the Lord alone, because He knows how to knit you together. But the world, it's not going to be gracious, because the world has such a big expectation out of the children of the Most High. The world knows the role of the church better than the church itself. Scriptures elaborate and talk about the children of the Most High. You being, the light of the world, you being the salt of the world, you being the high building or that is like white and, making a distinction. All of that for what? To make you live your life very, very exemplary. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be a superhuman. Absolutely not. You will err. But the thing is, in things like this is a test that is supposed to be passed by anybody that professes Christ. Anybody that professes Christ, this is something that at least everybody needs to be ready for. And at least I want to take this opportunity to be appreciative of the background where I grew up from. And there's so many people that were helped, that needed this. And I know that there are so many other churches too that have helped, that are not out there in the publicity and whatever, like they're not out there. But at least these ones, man, we would say, oh, it is racism, but it is a fellow palm-colored person. And then also, to make matters worse, it looks like most of these people are actually, majority of them are MAGAs. They criminalize homelessness. People like that don't deserve any. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later. I love you. May God watch over you and protect you and provide above all. See you guys later. My name is Gracie. Bye.